Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking skincare. These are products that I've recently tried that have just not done it for me, ranging from meh, it's kind of boring, not really doing it, all the way up to it burned my skin. So if you're so ready to dive into these nope products, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. First up, Shani Darden Signature Nourishing Facial Mask. The nope status of this product is it irritated and burned my skin. Now, what is this? This is a wash-off mask that straight from the Sephora product page states it's a soothing clay mask that calms stressed skin and is clinically proven to visibly reduce redness while restoring a compromised skin barrier. So the concept of the product is pretty unique. It actually does come with its own brush. You don't purchase this separately. It comes with the mask. The mask is a little over 2 ounces or about 60 grams and it does retail for $58. I do have to assume that some of that cost is being eaten up by the cost of producing the brush, right? But it's an interesting concept because the brush actually is meant to be used inside of the jar to whip the product up. The instructions state to kind of whip the clay up onto the brush and then apply it to your face. So it's a much lighter textured clay mask. It's not quite as dense. You're not scooping it out of the jar and then it's like kind of like that dry clay that you're trying to spread across your face. It actually is quite elegant and smooth. Though I actually have had this for quite a while, quite a few months. I believe this was released in fall of 2023. This was sent to me through PR and I did try it out and I was like, it's fine. I don't believe you've ever heard me talk about this mask here on my channel or on Instagram or anything because it's fine. It didn't really strike me one way or the other until recently. I tried this mask out when my skin barrier was just a little bit weak. Let me give you a little bit of background. So like I said, I'm all about barrier care. I keep my barrier very, very strong. There are some things that I know that can test my moisture barrier, and one of them is actually sweat. I am also prone to eczema, so there may be a link there, but if there's any sweat on my skin for a prolonged period of time, my skin does feel a little bit more sensitive. And of course, if I'm not performing barrier care and being very gentle with my skin after like a sweaty event, then it could certainly get worse, but usually it bounces back pretty quickly. And so I had actually used this mask after a really hot and sweaty day. I was outside for a really long time. I was sweating all day long. Took a bath, got all that sweat off of me, and I knew that my skin just needed a little pampering, just a little soothing. And I was like, oh yeah, this is for a compromised moisture barrier, right? So maybe I'll try this one out. And so I put the mask on after I got out of my bath, and I was like putting body lotion on and stuff. And I was like, my gosh, my skin feels like it's on fire. I was like, wow, I must have really sweat too hard. Maybe the bath was too hot. I don't know. And then I was like, oh my God, my skin is really burning. I've used this mask so many times. Is it the mask? Like, I don't know, but my skin is like, it's increasingly on fire. And so I just washed the mask off within just a few minutes. I could not keep it on my face. My skin was burning so bad. Washed it all off, and well, my skin was really red underneath all of that. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? Like, I've used this I've used about half the jar with no problem until now. What happened? And so I went back and looked at the ingredients the next day, and right at the bottom, this was a sneaky one. It's an ingredient called farnesyl. So this is one of those fragrant ingredients that carries such a potent irritation potential that it has to be listed separately. Why is it in a product that is marketed for a compromised skin barrier? Right? Because I'm always talking about how you have to be gentle with your skin barrier, right? You don't want to expose it to anything that is going to potentially irritate it, because when your skin barrier is a little bit weak or damaged, it's very vulnerable, right? So why are they putting that ingredient that has to be listed separately because of its, irritation potential? Why are they putting it into a mask that they're then saying, put this on your damaged skin? Please don't. Don't put those types of ingredients on your damaged skin. I literally just did it and burned my skin, right? My barrier was in a temporarily compromised state, and this mask kind of made it worse, right? So, yeah, I don't have fond feelings for this. Although I will say, when I was using it on my strong, non-compromised barrier skin, it was fine. I actually didn't have any irritation with this. And like I said, it didn't really strike me one way or the other like, whoa, amazing results. For $60, I didn't really see amazing results results. It wasn't really something that really struck me as I need to be using this all the time. I was like, it's fine. And it wasn't bad necessarily, but my main issue here is that compromised skin barrier marketing. This is not a mask for that. BioDance Bio-Collagen Real Deep Mask. The nope status of this product is disappointing viral hype. Now, I know that I have talked about this a few times here on my channel. I honestly have to say, every time I say I don't like this, I get a lot of pushback in the comments about it. So I wanted to give this mask another shot. And I also want to share with you, I still don't freaking like this product. Like, deal with it. Just because I have an experience of like that I don't like this product, right? My experience does not negate your positive experience. I want to be very clear about that because I feel like that happens so much with online skincare content. When somebody says, this was my experience with this product, there will always be somebody in the comments, not just be like, oh, that's interesting, mine was different. It's always like, you're wrong. And it's like, nobody's wrong here. Both experiences can exist at the same time. This is like a hydrogel mask. It is more of a gel that is meant to infuse with your skin rather than like a material that is soaked in a skincare essence or solution that is meant to hold that and get that solution into your skin. This is more meant to melt into the skin. And so I guess why people seem to be really intrigued with this and drawn to this is that they market this as a mask for, well, it's a couple of things. First, they market this as a mask that you can keep on your skin for a really long time. And in fact, you're supposed to keep this on for a few hours as the mask sort of melts into your skin. It will start to, that whiteness will start to become clear as it is kind of getting into your skin. And so it is a very long lasting mask. So that's one thing that kind of sets it apart from some of the masks that you might be familiar with, right? The other thing that kind of sets this apart is that they do encourage you to use this mask at the end of your skincare routine, not towards the beginning, as you would with, again, a traditional sheet mask. So I think just those 2 points alone make this stand out amongst all of the sheet mask competition out there. One of the things that they say you can do with this mask is that you can sleep in this mask, and I'm just like, where are you getting off thinking you can sleep in a mask like this? Because it's so freaking delicate. Oh my gosh, the very first time I used it, my fingernail sliced right through the mask as I was like putting it on. And it just kind of kept sliding off, and little chunks, you know what I mean, can fall off on this. And so I'm kind of like, unless you sleep like a perfect like corpse, you know what I mean? Like Sleeping Beauty, a Snow White, right? You're just like, you don't move, you don't sleep on your side at all. Your hair is perfectly out of your face. You know what I mean? You never turn your head. Maybe it will work for you to sleep in it. But quite honestly, I tried this mask out again for the video. You know, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I spent a lot of money on a pack of, I think it was 4 of these masks. And I regretted spending so much money. It was like $25, I think, for these masks for 4. And I was like, I'm gonna get my money's worth. All right, let me try it again. So I tried it again after I finished all my skincare with nice moisturizer, some nice CeraVe moisturizer underneath, put it on, started watching Titanic. Now, 90 kids will remember Titanic famously came with 2 VHS tapes. I swear to God, by tape 1, of course I was watching this on streaming, but it's like, you know exactly where the tape ended, right? But before tape 1 ended, I was like, my skin feels so dry with this stupid mask. I don't understand how people are sleeping in this if it can't even last through Titanic. You know what I'm saying? Like a 3-hour long movie. So yeah, I don't really like it. And I think, like I said, I don't think that it just works for my skin. My skin is combination. It is summertime. I'm not really feeling a lot of dryness, but I can be prone to dehydration. I actually find that this mask kind of makes my skin feel a lot more dry because I'm leaving this mask on my skin. I almost feel like it sucks hydration from my skin, honestly. It's almost like a reverse hydration process. Alpyn Beauty Instant Bright Eye Dark Circle Firming Cream. Now the nope status of this is it burned and irritated my skin. Now Alpyn Beauty is a brand that I've had my eye on at Sephora for a while now. I do enjoy their Ghost Berry and Peptide Moisturizer, which I know I've recommended here on my channel in the past. So I was interested to try the eye cream. The kind of like main ingredients that they market this cream on are the niacinamide and peptides. Peptides very unexciting here in the list. When you actually, you know what I mean, like turn the box around, right? You see peptides, you go, ooh, and then you turn the box around, you're like, whatever. But there are some other interesting ingredients in here like bakuchiol, and they're also using what they're marketing as a retinol alternative, which just, again, makes me roll my eyes. There's not really like a dupe for retinol. Retinol is retinol. Anyway, so kind of eye roll. They call this renseed ingredient their retinol alternative. But bakuchiol, niacinamide, these are great ingredients for an eye cream. Yeah, they may not be the newest and exciting, and they may not necessarily stand apart, but like I've said, I've had success with them in eye cream. So I was really interested to try this. The first time that I pumped the eye cream out, I was very surprised to see that it's a deep salmon color, orangey kind of salmon color. And this is interesting because, color theory, that kind of orangey type of reddish tone is actually a color that would cancel out blue. And that is to help color correct any kind of blue-based darkness, shadows, or what have you, veins, right, that occur in the eye area. So it's not actually treating or making that darkness go away. It's not going to make your bare skin look any better, but it is actually going to give you the, as the name suggests, instant bright, right? The color correction, that little bit of concealing in a way that it does, is actually what is giving you the instant effect if you have blue-based discoloration in the eye area. The actual texture of the cream, though, it's a really nice, almost like a whipped lotiony type of texture. It's not dense, it's not heavy. It's great because you just swipe it once, kind of tap it in, and it's absorbed into your skin. It's moisturizing, but it's lightweight. It doesn't weigh the eye area down. I think it's a texture that would work for a majority of people. Within a few days of using this as my main eye cream, my eye area was just feeling so raw. The skin around my eyes was just a very delicate feeling. When I would do the rest of my skincare and I would kind of hit that area and kind of swipe against it, the skin just kind of hurt a little bit. And I was thinking maybe I was having some kind of secondary symptoms of allergies, because they can manifest in my eyes. My eyes can get watery, itchy, burning, gloopy. And so I was wondering if I was just kind of getting a little bit of inflammation around the eye area because the allergies were so bad. So I was like, I don't really know what's going on. And I was kind of thinking maybe it was sunscreen irritation, but that wasn't really tracking. And so finally I was like, I'm just going to stop using this eye cream. So I stopped using the eye cream. A couple of days, the skin got better. That raw, sort of burny feeling went away. It wasn't tender to the touch anymore. If you're ever trying to figure out if something irritated your skin and you're a little bit brave, take it out of your routine, let your skin recover. That's kind of your first hint. If you take something out of your routine and immediately the symptoms get better, it's probably that product, right? But if you're real brave, put it back in and really pay attention. And if it happens again, right? And so that's what I did. And within about a day or so, that raw feeling started coming back. It was so strange because at one point it almost felt like, it's not that my skin felt rough, but it almost felt like when I brushed my fingers across that area, it was almost like sandpapery. Do you know what I mean? It was almost like the sensation of sand. When I was putting this information together for the video, I did notice on the Sephora review page, a few people had a similar experience as mine, where their eye area got very raw and burned and very delicate and irritated. So there's definitely something in this formula that if you do have sensitive skin, you might want to be very careful about this. If you do buy this or you want to try it out, really be careful with patch testing and stuff, because I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you, but there is something in this eye cream that is very irritating. Numbuzin, number 3 super glowing essence. The nope status of this product is the ingredient list scaries. Look at this ingredients list. There are 71 ingredients. 71. Count them. I know you won't. I did. And I ran the other direction when I saw all of these ingredients. Look, if you have acne prone skin, if you have fungal acne prone skin, if you have sensitive skin, run the other direction with me. Let's all go together, okay? Because this is gonna be tough to navigate. Let's unpack it. So 50, this is right here in the marketing. Numbuzin is real proud of this. 50 of those 71 ingredients are all fermented ingredients. This essence includes 50 fermented ingredients. I mean, why? This really feels like a product that is in that category of more is more. And you know my philosophy is more is not more. This definitely feels like it's being marketed on the fact that it has way more fermented ingredients than any other brand. You know, there may be brands that have like 90% of one fermented ingredient, but don't worry, we have 50 of all of them. They actually don't disclose the percentages of any of the ferments in here, but we can kind of get an idea that the fermentation obviously is going to be high on this just because of the quantity. We can't be sure of the quality just because there's quantity. Not all ferments are created equally, right? So all the stuff that they're fermenting and all the different strains of ferments that they've included in here, it's just a mess. You know what I mean? And I don't think that quantity necessarily is really indicating an elegant, well thought out, formulated product. There are a couple of potential red flags in here too. There is some essential oils in here from rose geranium flower essential oil. And then we also have some fragrant compounds in here, including geraniol and citronello. Now, as I already kind of covered, those fragrant compounds, speaking of the most, they're the most fragrant, and they do contain quite a bit of potential to irritate the skin that they do need to be listed separately. It's really interesting because the smell is like so unappealing. I'm like, why did you even bother? You know, I'm guessing with all those ferments, it did smell funky. But all I'm getting off of this is just like a really, it does smell quite a bit like rose, like that rose essential oil. There's something really kind of like putrid about the rose. It's almost like rose that's been sitting out in the sun, like, you know what I mean, like fermented rose. But not good fermented rose. It's just a little like medium strong. It's not a scent experience. I don't like it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It kind of just smells like cheap soap. The texture, I don't like it either. It's kind of sticky. It's kind of slippery. It's almost even a little greasy, which is strange. So it's got almost like a more of like a loose gel-like consistency to a little bit of body. It does feel hydrating. I do think it's a bit plumping, but it honestly, there's just kind of like this residue left at the top of your skin after it absorbs that just feels a little greasy. It will leave, I think, a little shine on your skin too. You can kind of see it on the back of my hand that it's picking up the light. It looks wet even though it's completely absorbed, and there is just like that little, like right on the skin, you can just like kind of lift it up, almost like an oily type of feel. So they do call this like a glowing essence. I wonder if they're just calling it that because it leaves your skin shiny, and a lot of people think that that's a glow, right? No, it just feels kind of sticky and greasy on top too. Like it just doesn't feel pleasant. It doesn't smell good. And honestly, like even just like, I mean, obviously I knew that this had ingredients that I don't like to put on my face. Essential oil, fragrant compounds. I have a well documented, you know what I mean, history with those ingredients irritating my skin. But even just like testing it on my hand, my hand was starting to feel itchy. So this is also a product that I have read multiple reviews on about it triggering sensitivity, irritation, but also actually triggering acne. This is not a minority of people here who could potentially be getting breakouts, acne, closed comedones, fungal acne, and just a skin irritation from a product like this. And of course, if you're sensitive to fermented ingredients, again, join us as we run the other direction. So it's definitely not a product for me and for my sensitive skin. And I wanted to include this in the video because I think that it is a good warning for those who may be interested in this product. You've heard a lot of great things about it. Please do know that it is probably not going to be appropriate for you if you are acne prone, fungal acne prone, or if you have sensitive skin. So I hope all the bad luck that I've recently been having with skincare products created a entertaining and perhaps helpful video for you. Let me know if anything that you've recently tried has been a big fat nope in the comments. And if this video did help you out and you haven't hit subscribe, please, I'd be so honored if you come join our skincare community, and make sure to turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop when I release new videos just like this one. Thank Thanks for being here with me today. I love you so, so much, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you're healthy, happy, and safe. Bye.